Welcome to a finished game experience of Ascendancy with the Antagonizer AI patch. Today we'll be playing the minions in a warlike atmosphere with the max number of species and the largest, densest star cluster. This is the longest possible game of Ascendancy you can have. Now the minions are going to make this a lot faster. The minions themselves are a bunch of nanobots. They assimilate other life forms for their nutrient and power needs. This makes their invasions almost unstoppable, as it only takes one invasion module to capture planets. The galaxy is vast, there's much to explore and conquer, and we start off knowing the first species to conquer. The good old Hanshaks. Let's go ahead and declare war on them. Turn 1. And then offer peace. Oh yeah! And then we'll declare war again on them. And then declare peace. And then declare war. Our home system's okay, at least it has enough space to keep growing for most of the beginning of the game. Using transport tubes, we grab all of the vital resource nodes. We quickly get our first colony ship up and running. The home system grows to be our industrial supergiant. We find the Mukwanongo system. This is going to satisfy most of our industrial and research needs early to middle game. I get lucky with an early archaeology site. It looks like our systems are all back-end so far. This is going to make it pretty darn easy to keep our systems defended. We get lucky and discover matter duplication, which allows cloning on our planets early on. Our expansion needs are growing, so we design a second colony ship and send it out. The Mukwanongo systems are growing nicely. The home planet's almost at max pop, so we need to start expanding with outposts. Good thing we have a lot of industry. And we start grabbing more star systems. We discover the Primulus system and found a colony, which has another archaeology dig on it. The Drawwell system is ours. We have a nice little slice of the galaxy so far. Our technology is impressive. We have molecular disassociators, which can outrange missile batteries on planets. We design our first defense ship, the Guardian, with our molecular disassociators, to guard our fledgling empire. In the meantime, we picked up Pedentry, which has another archaeological dig on it. This is a lot of free tech, the most I've ever seen, actually. I luck out and find two super mineral giants, the first in Mukwanongo, the other in the Stavern system. Our home planet is now churning out Guardian ships. Full speed ahead. The Drawwell system is our front gate. It has a red link going out to the unknown. This is really good for us, making an easy defense. After a fair amount of research, we get advanced exploration. This will unlock large ships. That's going to allow us to be such a badass out there in the galaxy. 2 enemy ships are coming down Drawwell. Good thing we have a Guardian waiting for them. We also sent a colony ship through to the other side. It's the Hanshaks! They decided to pay us a visit. Let's see what they brought. I don't think they have any weapons on this ship. They repeatedly try to run from us. My Guardians chase it down. We are about 1 hour into the game and doing quite well as the minions. Let's see what the galaxy has in store for us. We discovered the Elwison system. That's on the other end of that red link that we sent over. It seems like it's completely undefended. Let's colonize it. To conquer the Hanshaks that are on the other side of the link, we build the Macro Invader. We get the landmark research positron guidance. This will allow us the industrial mega facilities, effectively doubling our industrial output. And then we meet the Fruit Maca. Time to declare war. Now it's time to equip everybody with mega industrial facilities all the way around. All ships to Elwison, report for combat duty. And now it's time to meet the Marmosians. What's up, you giant bugs? Time to declare war on them. Operation Bug Squasher commences. Guardians quickly burn down the Fruit Maca fleet. The Hanshaks had colonized a planet in our Elwison system, so we invade. Mukwanongo was our second system we had colonized. Now it's nicely developed into an industrial powerhouse. We send our ships down the pipeline, more planets to capture and colonize. Seems the next system's a blank. We keep moving on. This is Schlep, our first system that we had started with. Look at it now, an industrial powerhouse, halfway converted to mega industrial facilities. And with subatomics researched, that gives us double industry with the hyper power plant. In Crimea, we meet the Swamparomans. Time to die. In Crimea, we arrive with our invader, and we're going to take over every single planet here. They had no defenses to stop us. I do keep exploring past Crimea, but Crimea is our front gate now. We're 2 hours into the game at this point. We've met everyone except for 2 of our competitors. Let's keep rolling. The Hanshaks invade Crimea. Schlep is completely modernized, 100% mega industrial facilities. And then we begin the siege of Ephemera. All they have is an orbital shield. Should be a quick capture. Now all I have to do is wait for the invader to show up. One of the archaeology digs unlocks self-modifying structures, a powerful research that gives us a module that repairs our ships for power. And we capture Ephemera. We finally have advanced exploration. Large ships are ours. This means it's time for a larger, better guardian. The Enforcer is born. And for some reason my caps lock key got stuck in the game. And one thing we need to deploy more of is an invader. The Phage is born. I start pumping out the Enforcers. We arrive at Ribulon to invade more Marmosian territory. And with that, Ribulon is ours. The Fruitmaka invade using quantum singularity launchers. But we successfully defend our system. Ribulon is our new front door. The Hanshaks then invade the Ribulon system, but they brought no weapons. They are the shittiest aliens. I reposition our ships very close to the wormhole, that way we get a maximum number of shots off at each offender. I now turn our eyes to maximizing research, creating Nougat and many other systems into a research planet. The victory condition I'm going for in this game is to own 2/3 of all planets, therefore we need a big colony ship. Thus, the perimeter is born. The Hanshaks come back to Ribulon for revenge. Bring more ships next time. The Swamparomans want some revenge too, also at Ribulon. We dispatch them with ease. So, the situation is that our large ships are coming to the front line. Ribulon is a hot seat. The Marmosians are back in action. However, the bastards are pretty tricky and they give us a slip, escaping to another system. Finally, some of our larges arrive into the far side of the galaxy. Time to defend against the Fruitmaka in Ribulon again. And I catch those Marmosians who escaped Ribulon last time. Well, we're about 3 hours into the game, fighting a bunch of wars, expanding wildly. We have a firm grip on the galaxy. Let's keep rolling hot. Get out of our damn system, Hanshaks. You can't have Ribulon. So we finally meet our match. The Marmosians here have a heavily defended system known as Tonsberg. We're gonna have to jump back out. We can't take this with just one large ship. We arrive at Cambria where the Marmosians have hostile colonies. We prepare our Enforcer for bombardment mode. Knowing that the Marmosians are going to invade soon, we prepare Ribulon for defense. I've marked Ribulon and Cambria for you. Ribulon is where we're defending, Cambria is where we're invading. We further expand our empire to 25 colonies. Yes, large-scale construction. We'll be able to afford giant ships with this. One of our big research projects is coming to fruition. Look at that output. We finally get our Phage into position and invade Cambria. I don't know why the Marmosians keep invading with ships with no weapons. So this map shows where each of our 3 prime enemies are at. We have more lurking, of course. We will have to hold Cambria in order to fight 3 forces at once. That's no problem, though. And so begins the siege of Tonsberg against the Marmosians. The Marmosians put up one hell of a fight here, actually holding their own with shields and decent weaponry. Meanwhile, we defend Cambria against the Fruitmaka. This is day 2 of the siege of Tonsberg. Our ships continue to fight the Marmosian menace. We unfortunately lose one of our gunships. Meanwhile, in the Paragon system, we begin the invasion of the Fruitmaka colonies. But we can't yet invade because of the missile bases. This is day 3 of the siege of Tonsberg against the Marmosian colonies. We unfortunately lose our invasion ship. Meanwhile, the Hanshaks reinforce the Paragon system. It seems the Fruitmaka and the Hanshaks are allied. This is day 4 of the siege of Tonsberg, and I'm hopeful that our enforcer can execute these 3 Marmosian destroyers. This is day 5 of the siege of Tonsberg. Bombardment by our enforcer begins. Now we just need to wait for an invasion ship to arrive. Back in the Paragon system, our enforcer executes one of the Hanshaks destroyers. However, it appears they've sent reinforcements. We exchange some gunfire with them, but we can't destroy them this turn. I get access to the Replenisher. This will solve a lot of our firepower problems, and thus the Enforcer Max is born. I also finally cleanse the Hanshaks from the Paragon system. The Hanshak and Fruitmaka alliance invades Cambria. I lose 2 ships defending it. The Phage runs the defenses of the planet Paragon, and we invade. Well, this was a long 4th hour. But we did accomplish a lot. At Tonsberg, we need to invade that system. We have it locked down. We're holding the line in Ribulon, and we finally captured Paragon. Let's go. We're fending off the Fruitmaka and Hanshak alliance with just 1 ship made of dreams and hopes. Our enforcer arrives just in time to help aid that lone guardian. Time to die. And finally, we capture Tonsberg with our Phage that we moved over from Paragon. It is ours, 31 colonies strong. We continue to colonize. Yes, 32 colonies strong. I refit the Phage and Enforcer at Ribulon. This will allow them to become fully repaired. The Fruitmaka invade the Fletcher system and take over our planet. Pushing further into Marmosian territory, we siege Eumenides. On day 2, we deal with the Defender. We then colonize a planet in Eumenides to take away their ship bonus in the system. And then, it's over. We've discovered plasmatics, ultra long-range, high-damage weapons. A long-range, very fast, self-repairing, enormous ship. Beautiful. The Imperius is born. That damn Fruitmaka ship that invaded in Fletcher and slipped by in Norvegiae has now come to Cambria. This motherfucker has made the most epic run. I've gotta end it. It is day 3 of the siege at Eumenides, and we begin bombardment. And so we're at the end of the 5th hour for our Ascendancy game. We're currently working on invading Eumenides, taking that from the Marmosians. The Fruitmaka have invaded Fletcher and slipped into Cambria. We have to eliminate them before they get further. And finally, we need to summon up some defense against the Hanshaks coming to Paragon. The Hanshaks invade Paragon. We get a couple shots off on it, but they still colonize a planet. I reclaim the Cambria system from the Fruitmaka. After finishing the bombardment of Eumenides, we decide to invade by running the missile gauntlet. That way we have some defenses as a frontline planet. I also captured the planet at Paragon 4 that wasn't ours either. Yes, 35 strong. The Swamparmans decided to invade Eumenides. We exchanged some fire, but we're not quite strong enough to wipe them out. I hide the invasion ship on our planet. Day 2 of the defense of Eumenides, we exchange more fire with the Swamparmans. On day 3 of the defense of Eumenides, we destroy both of their ships. My Phage ships are a little faster than my Enforcers, so I have to warp this little buddy out and send him back through. A day later, my Enforcer arrives. We exchange fire with the Hanshocks, devastating one of their destroyers. This is the endgame invader ship. This is the Plague class invasion carrier. Day 2 of the Siege of Watson-Fax, we exchange more fire. Day 3 of the Siege of Watson-Fax, we execute a destroyer. Day 4 of the Siege of Watson-Fax, we execute a destroyer and begin bombardment of Watson-Fax. Day 6, we invade Watson-Fax. After committing innumerable atrocities against every race, I try to convince them that peace is the best way. The Marmosians send a semi-serious invasion to Eumenides. We destroy one of their ships, but can't quite finish off the other. We manage to stop the invasion at the cost of one of our ships. The Fruitmaka are sending 4 ships to invade our Vedui. The megagraph theory is unlocked from excavations on Paragon. This is huge. The internet doubles research output on a planet. We'll be able to research most topics at this rate in under a month, if not a couple weeks. We repel a Hanshock invasion from Watson-Fax. Well, we are at the top end of the 6th hour of our game. The Marmosians continue to fight us at Eumenides, near the boundary of their territory. Meanwhile, the Fruitmaka horde is charging down a Vedui to our territory. Finally, we're holding off the shitty Hanshocks at Watson-Fax. Let's keep dominating the galaxy. The Hanshocks attack Watson-Fax with ships equipped with more advanced weapons than what I have. I no longer have need of any ships, so we switch our planets over to Scientist Takeover. Here comes those Fruitmaka ships in our Vedui. In System Feculon, we fend off the Swamparaman. Our Imperious begin arriving at the far ends of the galaxy. This is the Fruitmaka's last ship that they sent to our Vedui. This will complete our defense. After going through a red link, we arrive in Atropos, where the Marmosians have hostile colonies. We take out one of their destroyers and commence bombardment. Our Phage arrives in Atropos and invades. 38 colonies strong. The Flamifer system we're invading right now is the Marmosian homeworld. This is going to be a huge victory. We commence bombardment. So, we're about to take the Marmosian homeworld on the left-hand side of the map. The Fruitmaka are holding their border at our Vedui, and we're sending in fleets to attack the Hanshocks down below Watson-Fax. Our Phage arrives in Flamifer, and we invade it. We are 41 colonies strong. Meanwhile, Perimeter continues to supply us with colonies. We are 42 colonies strong. The Hanshocks have a border patrol in the Krell system. There must be something good on the other side. Back in Marmosian territory, we discover the Yorban system. We hammer it with plasmatrons, and then set about invading. Digging deeper into Hanshock territory, we begin bombardment of 2 worlds in Tonklanis. In Tonklanis, our Phage arrives, and we invade. Then we start work on the next world in Tonklanis. It's time to start beating the Fruitmaka down, so we start sieging Fletcher. I lose a ship because I forgot to move it outside of missile range in Tonklanis. Oops. We finally get a plague in orbit around Fletcher. Time to invade. Yes. And we finish invading Fletcher for 46 colonies to our grand total. We siege Bosporus. We invade Bosporus. So, we've stomped the Marmosian homeworld into cosmic dust, found out where the Hanshock homeworld is, and discovered the Swamparaman border. We still have 2 alien species to meet, but I don't think anything can stand in the way of this minion's doom train. We discover Alberio, siege, and invade. 53 colonies strong. We siege and invade Parsimony. We siege and invade Liberty. We siege Hannibal and invade it. The Siege of Fomalhaut. End its invasion. Even the game itself has stopped trying with system names like Willy and Corncob. In case you hadn't noticed, you can see the system names in the upper right hand corner. As you can see, our invasion is just wrecking the galaxy. The Hanshaks are pretty much making their last stand at their homeworld. The Frumaka don't even know how to make an effective fleet. The Swamparamons I scarcely see, and the Marmosians I've just utterly destroyed. Hello, Balaflids. Time to die, Balaflids. Hypergeometry drivers are the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. We finally got them. Time to design our last warship ever. Packed with an immense amount of speed, the best weaponry in the game, and the ability to repair itself, the a priori is going to be our best warship. We crush the Hanshak's homeworld and invade it, 70 colonies strong. And we've discovered the Swamparamon's homeworld now. We still haven't met the last alien species. I wonder who they are. We are 9 hours into the game at this point. We're going to send our a priori warships and invasion ships to the north. Balaflids aren't going to be any threat in either of the Swamparamons. This is how we stack up against everybody else. As you can see, we have quadruple the strength of the Frumaka, and everyone else doesn't even compare. This game, I can't believe it names the fucking system after Bob. Come on. And here you can see our a priori warship doing its job against the damn Frumaka. They finally got some large ships. Still, too little, too late. And here is the Hanshak's last colony, Tonklinus, 75 strong. Goodbye, shitty Hanshaks. Towards the end of our 10th hour, we meet the last species, the Shivar. Ironically, this is also their home planet. Poor bastards, didn't have a chance. Well, you guys know the drill at this point. Time to declare war. Well, Shivar, it was nice knowing you. Time to eradicate your asses. And it's invasion time. That'll put us at 80 colonies. And goodbye, Shivar. And that is the end. We have won the game through conquest. Our massive empire spans over 2/3 of the galaxy. Our dominion is assured. For some reason, the game thinks I only scored a 40%. Interstellar Subjugator. Well, guess what? We committed 2 genocides, and we own 2/3 of the densest star cluster we could. Come on, what do I have to do? Oh. And so there you have it, a finished game of Ascendancy with the antagonist AI in a warlike atmosphere on a very dense cluster, pretty much the hardest, longest game of Ascendancy you can play. The minions make it go by pretty fast due to their ability to invade with just one module. I chose them specifically for that reason in this LP. I wish the AI was a little more challenging. They offered a little challenge in the early middle game, and beyond that, they kind of fall down. But that's okay. The game was still fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. And if you did, and you want to do a little more to add to these very long edited projects, such as this one taking me 11 hours to record and about 4 hours to edit, then you can stop by my Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, thank you guys very much. I'm going to include you guys in the credits. So with that, thank you, and I'll catch you guys all on the next finished game experience.